Bang! Needs Knives, I'm Jared, and today we're checking out a few new budget knives, some affordable knife options. This is from Petrified Fish, and this is the Warrior. It does come with a dog tag that says Warrior, and then the number of the knife, which is pretty cool, but the knife is what we're worried about, right? So we have carbon fiber scales, and these are solid real carbon fiber scales, and then it has inset liners in there, you know, for durability. And then this, I believe this is a steel bent over. Oh no, that's titanium. So we have a titanium clip. That's really cool. I wish it was flat screws. It looks like there should be enough room, but why not just put flat screws just in case? Decent access to the lock bar. Could be better, but I mean, it's fine. The action's really good. I mean, it is very, very snappy. The close, I can tell the detent ball needs to break in the coating. I did put some oil on it, but that will break in, and I know it'll just get super, it's very smooth already. So once that detent ball breaks in, it will definitely be even smoother, and then you won't hear the detent ball rolling. It's not bad though. But it is a compact knife in K110 steel. K110 is basically D2, just another country's version of D2, and this one has, I think, a PVD coating or some type of black coating. And again, the flipping action is really, really good. This carbon fiber seems like some good quality carbon fiber. I like the cut. It's done pretty well, you know, all the edges and everything. As far as negatives go, the one negative would be T6s. I wish they were T8s all the way around. I don't like that they are button screws instead of flat screws. And then the plunge grind, especially on a coated blade, could definitely be better. When I sharpen this, I will absolutely make a smile. There's no way around it. I can't cut in my own choil if I wanted to, but yeah, but that's really all the negatives I have. Very, very snappy though, man. And it is a nice size for somebody who likes compact knives or smaller knives. Next is from AM8, and this is the Clysta, I think it's pronounced. I like the look of this thing. I love, it doesn't have a harpoon, but it kind of lifts up just a little bit right there, almost becoming a harpoon, but it is a spear point blade with a flat grind, G10 scale steel liners. They are exposed steel liners. They are nice and thick steel liners though, which I do love to see. Rock solid lockup. Good access to that lock bar, very, very smooth. Migron and AM8, they do a really good job with their action. They are always very glassy smooth. They definitely put a lot of work into ensuring that their action is really good. The clip is a titanium milled pocket clip, T8 hardware all the way around. Love to see that. G10 back spacer. The front flipping action is great. I mean, it works really, really well. You can easily do it with any finger. I do wish the jimping had a jimp right there at the top of the dome right there. Even though it is still very easy to use, I would prefer that. And then two things with the thumb studs. One, I'm not a big fan of smooth thumb studs. Sometimes they're just fine, but I wish this had a little texture on the top because it is a little slippery. And then they're really close to the scales, so I kind of wish they would have chamfered this edge quite a bit more on both sides, so that when you go like this, you're not just hitting the top of the thumb stud, you're actually hitting the side of it. That would be optimal for me. But it does still work extremely well. Like, it's not bad or anything like that. That's just more preference. Stop pin lands down here, so that's just fine because you have a beautiful choil that acts as a finger choil and a sharpening choil. It is somewhat of a slim knife, but while still being a good size for everyday carry. The blade steel, I believe, is 14C28N. I'm pretty sure it is 14C. I'll write it on the screen, otherwise I don't see it listed anywhere. But yeah, all in all, really, really cool knife. Negatives, you know, I have those little nitpicks, but, you know, they're not really bad, but it would definitely be something that would improve the model. But all in all, solid knife for sure. Next, we actually have another Petrified Fish. This one is, I think, labeled basically as like an outdoors, you know, kitchen knife or food prep knife plus an outdoors knife. So you can basically do, it's a multi-purpose knife. How about that? Multi-purpose. You can chop with it. You can, you know, cut straight down, you know, for like chopping vegetables and stuff like that. It does have a finger guard here that you can use, you know, maybe, I don't know, for feather sticking or something like that. The G10 handle is done very well. It's fit together nicely. Good quality G10. The blade is robust and it does have a very narrow grind. So being this narrow of a grind, you know that edge is going to be very, very tough. The blade steel on this is 9CR18 MOV. So, you know, decent steel, not the toughest steel, but with this geometry, it's going to be plenty tough. But yeah, all in all, it's pretty cool. The sheath is a G10 sheath that you don't want to just go straight in and out. You kind of curl it like that. So I go like this, if that makes sense, because if I go straight in and out, it won't come out. So you have to kind of turn it. Now you can't put your finger in there, obviously. It kind of makes it a little bit more comfortable to retrieve it that way, actually. It just naturally pulls this way when you do that. Which, you know, I think this thing's pretty cool, especially like for camping, hunting, and stuff like that. I could totally, because this is manageable. So you could skin with this. Like I said, you could do, you know, maybe a little bit of wood processing and stuff like that. The negatives that I have, I mean, this handle's very, very comfortable, even with the finger guard. I don't want to put my finger all the way in there, but you're not supposed to anyways. My negatives would be, one, I wish that there was a better choil. This does have a tough edge, meaning it's a high angle edge bevel, which is going to mean it's not going to be the sharpest. It's still plenty sharp, don't get me wrong. It's very sharp. It's about as sharp as you expect most pocket knives or most knives to be out of the box. But with a high edge angle, you know, it doesn't matter what knife it is. A high edge angle is always going to be tougher and not as sharp as a low angle edge, and vice versa for the low angle edge. It's always going to be sharper, but also not as tough. So this one's more of a tough edge. Either way, though, I don't want to sharpen into this plunge. I would rather have a sharpening notch there to, you know, to make distance away from the plunge in the edge. However, it's not that big of a deal on this one. One, it's a fixed blade, so you could always put a notch in there if it bothers you very easily without hurting anything. And two, you know, it's an outdoors knife, so it's going to be something that's going to be abused. I don't think it cares about the beauty as far as hitting the plunge grind, so it's not that big of a deal. The designer, I'm not sure if I know this designer or not, but he does have a really cool design, and I'm excited to check it out. Maybe we will test this puppy out a little bit. And I just noticed that there's two holes. I'm guessing that's, okay, so there's a hole there and two holes here. I guess that's just, oh yeah, and it's got a piece of leather protecting the edge. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know if that comes apart or if that's just to make sure moisture has air flowing through. Very cool. This next one I have actually checked out already, but it was only briefly, so I figured I'd show it off again. This is the AZUSA, and I'll tell you what, man, they did a really good job on this front flipper. This has, one, it has amazing front flipping action. Like, this is, I think this is a good one for people that might be learning or not very well at front flipping. This is super good. Like, it's so easy to use. It's easier than most, I'll say that. The jimping is good jimping. It doesn't go all the way around, but it goes high enough to the peak that you get it every time. And the detent is perfectly tuned for a front flipper. I probably can, yes, I can even reverse flick off of the blade because the coating, you know, is like it kind of feels like a blasted finish, so it has a little bit of grip to it. Titanium milled pocket clip. And then G10 scales and T8 hardware all the way around. I love to see the T8 hardware all the way around. The choil is really nice. You can get up nice and tight to that edge, which is really nice. But the pinch grips, being a, I'm going to call it a Wharncliffe, because it does pretty much have a straight edge. So, you know, this is going to be something that you're going to be able to slice really good with. You can turn it around and cut straps. It basically is going to work in any grip in any direction very well. Now, one thing is the sharpening tool and plunge grind. Once again, they're hitting the plunge grind with the edge, and it is a very high edge angle. So two things. One, I'm 100% going to want to sharpen this, you know, if I'm going to use and test it, or if I'm going to carry it as a pocket knife. So, because I want, not that it's not sharp, because it's very sharp for the edge angle. They did a good job with the edge, but I can see that the edge bevel's a little bit off from heel to tip, as far as, you know, well, it's not the edge, it's the grind. So the grind's a little thinner here, then it gets a little thicker, and then a little thinner again at the tip, which is not a problem. Most knives are pretty much like that. But my point is I'm going to want to reprofile and put my own edge angle on there, which will be a bigger bevel. So my bevel will be bigger. And when I do that, it will make this even worse. I probably will hit the coating here, and it won't look that great. And then they have, oh no, we have, oh, that's bad. Never mind. I might not have I don't know if I realized this on the first impressions, but the stop pin is hitting the edge. That's no good. No, you can't do that. Now I can't sharpen it. How am I supposed to sharpen it? That's where the stop pin's hitting. So now if I go to sharpen it, it's going to wind up getting probably detent lash. And then eventually not even going to be able to stay closed. Although, I don't know, it'll cause issues. That's for sure. Man, I wish it wasn't like that, because it's such a cool knife. Hopefully that's something they can improve pretty quickly. Put an internal stop pin in there, because that's just a mess. I can't believe how close it is. It's literally hitting the damn edge. So that's crazy. I'm surprised they let that slide. I'm not even going to go over any other negatives, because that's already a deal breaker. And don't forget, the new budget Mila are available now, and they have minis and large ones and fixed blades. Actually, I didn't pull the fixed blades out. And they even have premium versions of the minis. This is just one of them. This one's one of the higher end ones, titanium and then zirconium. And I like this zirconium because the diamond pattern makes it to where you don't get fingerprints all over it. It actually works really well at not allowing you to see the fingerprints. The action on these are insane. Even for the small one, it's crazy how good the action is for a little compact knife. But they have budget versions. So this one right here is, again, the same. The action's insane. Nitro V steel, blacked out blade, amazing front flipping action, phenomenal detent, and then, you know, it has, to me, it's a good size for a small compact knife. The full size one, though, same size as the original premium Mila, which they, you know, they have premium versions of this, obviously. And now they have budget versions. This one's the G10 in burlap micarta, in also nitro V steel, deep carry clip, phenomenal access to that lock bar, and basically guillotine action. I mean, this one's not even broken in yet. Once these things break in, they're just ridiculously smooth. But all in all, man, it's a solid, straightforward knife. Drop point blade that's very useful, that most people, you know, are going to be used to. The ergos are straightforward, so it doesn't matter what direction you are holding it or cutting, it's going to work and be comfortable. And same thing with the little mini guy, you know, just a lot more compact. The inlays are really cool. I personally like seeing the hardware. I know this is quite a bit of hardware, but it is holding the inlays in, but they did such a good job with the inlays. They almost seem like they were machined out of just one piece. But anyways, so there you guys go. I do have a full video showcasing all the Mila, by the way, and it's a huge lineup, over 20 of them. So I do have that full video. It didn't wind up doing that well because I accidentally released it early and I had to stop it after it already started getting views. And anytime you do that, it hurts the video. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.